After a quick stop in Mauna Loa, we are back on trail. Some little bit scary news though. We checked the 5-day weather forecast. Today is Monday and Thursday and Friday is meant to be very bad weather. 20 meter per second wind. So we managed to contact a couple of huts in the area and we're trying to find out if we can get a reservation for them, because there's no way we can be camping in those kind of winds. We have about 5, maybe 6 days of hiking to get us to our endpoint in Havaiavale. Really excited to finish up the trip and see what the rest of this trail has to offer. Feeling energized this morning, probably because I've drunk a lot of coffee. Road walking. We've seen quite a few off-road vehicles ripping along on the dirt road here, including a bunch of dirt bikes. Made me a little bit jealous how quickly they could move through this terrain though. Done about 13 miles out of land, Mauna Loa. We are still road walking, but we only have about 5 more miles left for the day. Luckily the sun has gone behind the clouds and it's actually really pleasant conditions for hiking right now. Plus we're surrounded by these crazy lava fields with this weird sage green moss all over it. It's really beautiful. It's really good.
Today, rain. Tomorrow, rain.
Okay, we made it to camp and it is time for dinner. I am hungry. On the menu today is couscous with spicy peanuts. What's on the menu for you today?
Ramen bomb.
Pretty good. Like most mornings in Iceland, it's pretty damp with pretty bad condensation on the sleeping bag and inside our tents, and it's also raining this morning. We are currently bushwhacking right now to connect to a main road, which is going to enable us to cross a pretty serious river. And then the majority of the day we're going to be hiking on F-roads. The weather seems to be getting slightly better in the area that we're heading to, so hopefully there's not going to be these crazy windstorms that I had mentioned. We're about to do probably our widest river crossing we've done on the entire trip. It doesn't look too terrible, but it's very wide and it's hard to tell exactly what we're going into.
I was...
Terrain-wise today is definitely not going to be the most interesting. We're following along these power lines for a long way. Doing this kind of trip where we're hiking all the way across Iceland, it's inevitable that you're going to have stretches that are a little bit less interesting. Watch out. So we have finished for the day. It's been pretty windy, so we found a decently protected spot down here by the river and decided to set up after about probably like 22 miles. Obviously setting up in a good spot is pretty pretty wise considering we are using trekking pole, non-freestanding tents. Time to cold soak some ramen noodles, get inside the tent, and yeah, hopefully get a solid night's sleep. So it was not the best night last night. I woke up maybe about 4 AM and it had been raining in the night, but then the wind really picked up and was rattling the tent like crazy. So I was awake from maybe 4:30. It's now 6:30 and it's raining pretty good outside. So what we've decided to do is there's a paid cabin in about 15 miles from here, and so we are probably going to go there today. The weather is meant to get progressively worse over the next couple of days, so we think the best thing for us to do is to get to that cabin tonight, spend the night there, kind of dry out all our gear and sleep inside. We do have another option to spend a night in a cabin the next night, so we may also do that. Given the situation, it probably makes sense because, as I said, the wind is meant to get progressively worse over the next couple of days, and the most important thing is that we're safe.
This is what our entire day has looked like today. That's it. Nothing else.
It's wet and it's windy, but I do not care because we are on our way to a hut. And that feels awesome. We have just about made it to Svinarnes, our hut for the evening. Oop, nearly fell over. And it feels pretty good. We're hoping there's going to be the option to boil some hot water in there. We really don't know what to expect. There is no one out here. We've been hiking since about 7:30 AM. It's now 1:30 PM and we've seen one car. We've been kind of wet and cold most of the day. Feet are like damp and have been damp basically constantly for the past couple of days. Tomorrow we're just doing 10 miles to the next hut. It's meant to be pretty savage weather tomorrow. We're going to be sleeping in the hut tomorrow evening when the storm is meant to be at its worst. We were just talking with Cheesebeard that once you've kind of got your end date in mind and the end goal in mind and it's approaching, then of course you start thinking about home and you're kind of ready for it to be over. And I think that's both pretty much where we are right now. Ready to finish it up. We've had an amazing time, but also ready to just get home, see friends and family, drink real coffee, all of that stuff that you miss from home when you do a crazy hike like this. But I'm going to show you guys the hut a little bit. Apparently we've got one more river crossing to actually get over there. Apparently it's deep and cold.
Guess the right one. Hell yeah. Oh, smoke detector. Probably running out of batteries.
This place is amazing. It's actually way better than we expected it to be. There is a gas stove, so we're boiling up some water. There is a wood stove, so we've cranked that thing up, and it's so warm inside the cabin that it's actually like a little bit too much, which is a very big difference from being inside a cold, wet tent this evening. We have kind of spread our stuff out a little bit to dry it all out. We've had lunch and now it's time to just chill, enjoy the afternoon, and then get a good night's sleep. Coffee, sir?
Yes, please.
Woo! Tink. Don't burn yourself. It's very hot. It's very hot.
I was pretty nervous to get back on trail. Haven't really had any serious problems, so it's like a massive relief because I didn't know how it was going to go. you know, there's always that lingering doubt of like, you get on the trail, you go a couple miles in, and then you have to turn around. And then, yeah, we're 3 days from the end, and I'm ready for it to be over. I'm excited to get back home, and it's gonna feel like a big accomplishment, but I don't think it's gonna be like a huge emotional deal like some of the other hikes were.
I can't express how good it feels to wake up in the morning and make hot coffee and to have slept inside, especially when the wind is howling outside. Let me show you. It's pretty serious wind right now. There's no way we'd be able to set our tents up in this. Woo!
Dude, look how crusty my socks are. There's like a little ghost foot in here.
They like stay up all on their own.
Oh no!
That's how you know a sock is crusty. It's time to get on with this thing. Oof, this is like...
It's 10 out of 10!
God.
Oh, this is so good. This is better than speed on this.
It looks like we even have charging. Look at this place.
We've got a Hoover.
We have everything. Feeling pretty lucky right now. Life is pretty good. We're all settled in at Lepistönga. We've got the fire going, Cheesebeard's playing solitaire, and we've had some lunch. We were desperately hoping that there was going to be some charging here and got very excited because there were wall sockets, but when we've connected our chargers up to them, there's no power, so we are completely draining our battery packs, and we still have a full day of hiking tomorrow where we need to navigate, and then we have tomorrow night at a campsite, and then still like another 10 or 15 miles the next day before we get to anywhere that we know there is charging. So it feels a little bit sketchy. Although the next couple of days are going to be pretty challenging, there's only 2 more days to go. So it's a very weird kind of situation that we found ourselves in. But yeah, pretty nice to be inside tonight because the wind is howling out there. Hot coffee. So we are pretty much all packed up and ready to leave Lepistönga. Fortunately, waking up this morning, the wind is way less intense than it was yesterday. However, it is raining, and so that wind-rain combination means the big camera is going to be living in the backpack probably for the majority of the day. 25 miles until the next cabin. Unfortunately, that cabin is full tonight, but we're able to set up our tents there. Yeah, it's going to be a long, wet, windy kind of day, but both of us are in pretty high spirits and just kind of ready to get this thing over and done with. Okay, we are leaving the comfort of our nice warm cabin to go out into this, and the first thing we need to do is cross that river down there, take our shoes and socks off and keep on hiking.
I forgot my fucking trekking poles. God damn.
Someone forgot their trekking poles. I would love some crisps. So we have an update. Today is more or less sucked. The weather is pretty awful, and the hut that we were planning on camping at is just over there. So we've done about something like 23 miles, and the time's about 3 o'clock, I believe. We're not allowed in the hut or anything because it's booked out by a private group. So we would basically just be setting up in a field. The weather's awful, so we wouldn't really be doing anything else but sitting in our tents for like hours before bedtime. And so we've decided to just do a big day today.
We're going to Annapurna.
We're going to push the extra mileage, which means it'll probably be like a 32, 33-ish mile day. We're both a little bit cold and a little bit wet, and the weather is not going to play ball with us today. But if we just keep moving, we should be warm enough to just get it done. I really want to pull the big camera out, but the wind and the rain is just super unpredictable at the moment. I'm going to eat some crisps and some tortillas and just keep on trucking. It is 6:30. We probably have about 6 miles or so left to go. So it's probably about 2 hours of hiking. Definitely quite tired. Definitely aches and pains. My knees hurting. Backs hurting. It's cold. It's probably about like 3-4 degrees right now. The last 6 miles, the entire trip. That's it. You can see a level there. The weather's still terribly bad. My hand to pull the camera out of my backpack at this moment. Whew. I hope you can hear me. We were planning on camping here, but the wind just picked up massively. So we're going to ask if there's any space inside for us to sleep. So fingers crossed. Whew. Don't know exactly how many miles we've done. Probably like low 30s. I have no idea what time it is. I'm guessing it's close to 9 p.m. My hands are freezing. My nose won't stop running. But I do have a massive smile on my face. We're done. We're here. And there's not a single other tent set up. Whew. This is it. We've done it.
2021 Traverse of Iceland complete.
Yeah, dude, good job.
Let's go inside. Oh my god. Jeez.
We did it! Oh, camera's fogged up like crazy. Somehow this lovely man has managed to find some accommodation for us inside. So we're going to be sleeping inside and not in this raging wind out here. I'm going to drink a beer, and I'm going to try and get this guy to drink one with me as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so luxurious.
Oh my god.
It's a bed. 35.5 miles to get here, averaging 3.1 miles per hour. It smells really, really bad.
So bad.
But we did it, dude. Cheers, dude. Fucking good job.
Yeah, dude.
You did fucking good.
Another one down.
Ooh. Fucking hell. Ah. Ah. An amazing feeling to wake up inside the cabin with the wind whipping outside the door all night long. Now we've been able to calm down a little bit after last night's excitement. There's just a strong sense of achievement having completed a trek. Now it's time to take the bus back to Reykjavik, enjoy a day there walking around, and then jump on a plane and head back to Finland. Thank you for being part of this journey. I thoroughly hope you enjoyed being along on the hike with us. and I will see you in the next video.
Did you record that?